Good morning, everybody. Well, the 1995 Cricket World Cup began today in Faisalabad. It was the Group 1 match between England and Australia. The opening match of the 1995 Cricket World Cup. These two have produced wonderful matches in the past. As I said when I was previewing the 95 World Cup yesterday, the epic match at Nottingham where Australia stole victory after bowling England out for 93. They looked like they're going to get bowled out for less than 93 before Gilmore took centre stage. The epic group match in 87 where Alan Lamb stole victory from Australia, and obviously the World Cup final in 1987 where Australia won by 7 runs. The pitch at Faisalabad was hard and flat, and Michael Atherton won the toss and elected to bowl. He said he wanted to bowl because he felt it was a good chasing pitch. The pitch wouldn't change that much during the day. Mike Taylor was happy to bat. Mark Taylor was happy to bat first, but he did say because of the flatness of the pitch, he wasn't surprised. He felt it was a good pitch to bat on, and it wouldn't change that much either. And this was the outcome of what turned out to be a pretty entertaining game in the end. A good opening start to the tournament, as you can see. In the end, Australia winning relatively comfortably in the end. But England have not played well for the last 4 years since the last tournament. Showed a little bit of mettle. They got off to a bad start, I should point out, as we look at the scorecard. I mean, look at that scorecard. Brilliant opening stand from Mike Taylor and Mark Waugh. Taylor's hit 59 of 72 deliveries to get the first 50 of this tournament to start off with. Ponting out for 12. Steve Waugh only made 7. But Mark Waugh dominating the innings, nearly scored half the team's runs, 126 off 139 balls, the first century of this World Cup, and living up to his reputation as the star batsman for the Australians. Look at that score at the low order. England did brilliantly in the final 10 overs. They took 6 wickets in the final 10 overs and only conceded 33 runs. It looked like Australia were going to get 280. They ended 258 for 9 for their 50 overs. Law 21, but look at that low order. 6 for Bevan, 9 for Shane Lee, Ian 84. Shane Warne ridiculously run out for 0, and obviously McGrath didn't even come out, and Damien Fleming didn't face a ball. 5 run-outs. England's fielding was superb. Despite getting off to a bad start, England's fielding was absolutely superb, especially in the final 10 overs. 5 run-outs from the Australians. There'll be some concern that their main fast bowlers didn't do nothing. Dominic Cork and Peter Martin both went for 55 and 51 runs respectively, 106 runs in 20 overs. Darren Gough came back brilliantly, only conceded 10 runs off his final 3 overs, 1 for 48, 1 for 47 for Richard Illingworth. The main concern, Graham Hick, 2 for 48. He's supposed to be the star batsman, but he had the best bowling figures of the England match. England, well, they got off to a really bad start. Atherton and Stewart went for 1 and 4 respectively. Damien Fleming was absolutely magnificent. They only conceded 8 runs from the first 5 overs, but then Graham Hicks started to get going and played brilliantly. Him and Graham Thorpe put on a 115-run partnership. Graham Thorpe then played a very loose stroke to be out for 43, and then about 2 overs later, Graham Hick run out 85 of 102 balls. Good start to his tournament, but his run out changed the game. They tightened the game completely. Russell went for 2, Craig White went for 6, but once in the end they needed 74 for final 10 overs, and the first ball of the 41st over, the last key batsman Neil Fairbairn went for 36 of 52 deliveries, and the game was well and truly over. Cork made a solid 19 runs of 21 deliveries. Gough ended 17 not out of 23. 3 for Peter Martin and Richard Illingworth ended 3 not out. They did bat the full 50 overs. 228 for 9 from their 50 overs. Bowling figures. Shane Warne only bowled 5 overs. Didn't take a wicket. Was holding his shoulder. There is some concern, but obviously Mike Taylor said... He said to Mike Taylor, I don't feel safe with my shoulder. He went off the field for quite a bit. We wonder whether he'll play in the next match against the Dutch. I'm sure that you won't stop him from playing. Magnificent bowling figures, though, from Fleming, he was the best bowler. He took the two opening batsmen, Stewart and Atherton, 3 for 26 or 7 overs. Maguire was a bit expensive, 1 for 38 off 8 overs. But Shane Lee was the best bowler as far as I'm concerned, 2 for 33 of his 10 overs, 1 for 45 for Harris off 9. And Mark Waugh completed a pretty decent all-round performance. Was a bit expensive, but 10 overs, 1 for 51. And Steve Waugh bowled a couple of overs towards the end and only went for 6 runs in his 2 overs. So the final summary in the end, England versus Australia at Faisalabad. England won the toss to bowl first on a hard, flat pitch. Australia made 258 for 9 from 50 overs. Mark Waugh, brilliant 126 of 139 balls. All's the first century of this tournament. England got off to a disappointing start. Good partnership between Hick and Fulp got them back in the game, but Australia kept creating chances. There was a couple of drop catches from Mike Taylor, actually. Dropped Rainfall twice, but it didn't matter in the end. England batted their full 50 overs as well, made 228 for 9. Australia winning quite comfortably in the end by 30 runs, and unsurprisingly, man of the match for his 126 of 139 balls and 1 for 51 off 10 overs, Mark Waugh of Australia. Good start to Australia, the favourites. Top of the table, unsurprisingly, but England can be pretty pleased with their performance. Tomorrow's match, India versus Sri Lanka. India favourites to win Group 2. Sri Lanka potentially dark horses in this World Cup. We'll see how well their batsmen can do tomorrow against India. 2 pretty decent batting sides, you feel. Can Sachin Tendulkar get his World Cup up and running with a good performance against Sri Lanka tomorrow? Let's have a look at the star players. Let's have a look at the star players for both Australia and England. Mark Waugh, 126 and 51 with the ball. Brilliant start to his World Cup. 7 for Steve Waugh, disappointing start to his tournament. Shane Warne obviously didn't take a wicket and obviously could be injured. Graham Hick, brilliant start to his tournament. 2 wickets, an average 24 and 85 of a bat. Good start to his tournament, but he's run out, changed the entire game, and no wickets for Dominic Cork and an average of 19 with the bat. Yeah, I thought that was a decent performance from England. A little bit surprised, actually. I felt everyone thought that when they got off to a good start, Australia, you felt that Australia were going to get 280, 290 on that pitch, but they recovered really, really well, and that will give them a lot of confidence against South Africa, even though they've lost. The fact they competed for Australia for about 30-40% of the match. Atherton said they were in the match 30-40%, but they probably needed to be in it 60%. You felt Australia were always sort of ahead. Australia will be pleased that they've been involved in a pretty decent match. They go into a match against Holland and in good form, and England will be pretty pleased with that performance. And overall, a good start to the World Cup. Tomorrow's match, India versus Sri Lanka. I think it'll be their 3rd meeting in the World Cup. It'll be their 4th meeting in World Cup cricket. Tomorrow. India looking to start off their tournament well. Sri Lanka looking to cause maybe a bit of a surprise tomorrow. They're considered dark horses for this World Cup. They are quoted at 50 to 1 to win the World Cup. I don't necessarily think they will win the World Cup, but who knows? They'll be playing in conditions that suit them, and their batsmen have promised. Their coach, Dev Watmore, has said their batsmen are going to try and attack this tournament. So we'll wait and see what happens. So for me, this is Lawrence Howard reporting the 1985 Cricket World Cup here in Pakistan, being played on Royal Cricket on PlayStation. Australia won the opening match of the World Cup and got off to a good start. Until tomorrow's match between India and Sri Lanka, it's bye-bye from me. Bye-bye.